Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So today's video is actually going to be a little bit different from my usual speed paints. I decided to show you the process of how I tend to do my digital paintings. I believe more people on my Instagram were curious about this particular style compared to, I guess, people on YouTube, because I haven't shown this as much. I'll pop a few on the screen of digital paintings that I've done in the past that kind of follows the same process. I personally consider myself very new and kind of amateurish to digital painting. I've watched like so many videos and I've watched live streams and like a bunch of things to gather information on how people generally paint. And I follow a few tips and tricks and methods that they use. I've made my own kind of brush. I'm not using the texture brush that often. I believe I'm using the normal, just a round brush, but I did alter the settings sometimes when I'm doing my other paintings, which that you sort of saw earlier on the screen. I used a different texture for the brush. It has like more of a weird ridge on it, making it a lot more like sharper lines, a little bit not as polished or clean compared to like how I'm working here. So the reason why I have like this video up for today instead of maybe a sketchbook video, or like like a sketchbook doodles video, or kind of like a watercolor video or anything like what I usually do, is because it wasn't initially planned that I was going to record this, hence why this didn't start from the very beginning. I did do the sketch and like preliminary colors and like the background. I did like a lot of overlay, multiply layers and stuff to get colors correct before I merged everything into one layer. As you can see, I'm painting more or less on one layer, and then I have a layer beneath it that says preserve, but I only have that there just in case, like if I did ever want to use the sketch again. Because if this didn't turn out, I would probably digitally draw it in my usual way. So my digital painting style is very iffy, I guess. I'm definitely learning a lot. I think I'm getting better at rendering hair in the way I want to. And like hair and clothes are like the stuff that I really enjoy digitally painting. Skin's like a bit iffy. I always feel torn about leaving shapes in the skin, kind of like blocking out like tones and stuff. But I also really want the skin to look really smooth, but like it's something I struggle with, and I think it's because like my chibis tend to be really soft looking, and even when I do like normal faces and portraits and stuff that are digitally painted, I think I usually tend to leave a lot of the harsh lines still in. But this one, it's a lot smoother, a little bit less like tones and stuff in the face anyways. So the thing I had most fun, I think, painting this, other than the hair, was probably the background. So I've been struggling with painting backgrounds in general. I guess like drawing backgrounds. I think painting backgrounds, I would have a better understanding because I'm relying mostly on like lights and shadow and shape rather than like defining form through lines. And I really like how this one came out. A lot of it, okay, this is what I regret. I didn't use photo reference, which is why a lot of these shapes and like forms of the background are very repetitive and they don't have a lot of like structure to them. Like not a lot of detail, because I didn't know what was what. Like, is it coral? Is it some kind of vegetation? Or is it rocks? I did do a few that looks kind of like, or is it coral? I don't know if it's coral, whatever it's called. I used to do a lot of browsing of pictures, so I do have like some idea of what general shapes are of like undersea world stuff, and I've done like WONWOO in aquariums and stuff like as a concept, so I have looked at stuff before, but like all of this is just coming from my brain, and I think that's what made me struggle with the background so much. See, because you can see me like I'm getting really frustrated, so I've been switching from WONWOO to the background, and then from the background to WONWOO again, and I'm just going back and forth. So kind of what I want to get out from learning how to digitally paint is that a lot of the artists that I look up to that are digital artists either are on one side of the spectrum where their lines are very like clean and crisp and very detailed. Usually like the line thickness doesn't vary or anything, but they have beautiful like flat colors, and like I really love that style. But then the other side is I really love when people can like render and digitally paint like either realistically or like in an anime-ish style or like semi-realism, and like they have like these beautiful colors and like soft strokes and stuff, and I really love that look. So I think that's why I'm so interested in a lot of when I'm doing watercolors, why I switched to doing the line work in watercolor instead of doing it in ink, is because I wanted that softer look, because I strive to have that soft look because I enjoy it so much. So I decided to do that for the chibi one. So I've been slowly making my way to learn how to digitally paint. I should really learn how to digitally paint by finding a photo and then trying to paint it, like digitally paint it using a reference instead of doing this, which has a lot of struggle. So I condensed about 2.5 hours of footage, which you guys can see of me painting. Originally I was gonna do it real time and then cut it down, but that seemed impossible, especially because I keep switching from area to area because I'm so confused that the footage looked really weird being choppy, but I also didn't want the footage to be 2.5 hours. But yeah, so my normal chibis, I'll put one on the screen or maybe a few. You guys can see that the clothing more or less is me incorporating digital painting into the style. The thing I like about digital painting is that I get the freedom to change stuff like at will, I guess. When I'm doing normal like digital illustrations where you do the sketch, you do the line art, base colors, and then shading, is that once I put the base color down and I do shading, if I ever want to change something, it requires me to alter the line, like the line art, change the base color to fit within the line work, and then rearrange shading. I know some people do like all that, like line work, base color, and shading, then merge everything and then paint over top, but I lack the confidence to do that. Hence why I preserved my other sketch, my initial sketch, just in case if I ever do want to return back to that concept and redo it in a style that I know I'm capable of and more confident in. I do like how this came, like how it came out. I'm usually not confident with digital painting at all. I have a lot of unfinished digital paintings. Maybe I'll pop a few on the screen. I have one of Josh and I have one of D8. I have one of Claude. I think I have another one floating in there. But like even the WONWOO one that I did a while ago, I'll put it on the screen so you guys know which one I'm talking about. It had so many phases where I gave up, and then for one strange reason I had the urge to pick it up again. I did, and then I started really just going in and like refining things, simpling things up, and then eventually it turned out better than what I expected initially, which is great. Like I think a lot of it was me just struggling to find a balance between soft and hard. But I think me changing from my usually textured brush for painting that has like a lot of harsh line, I like using that for initial painting, getting a lot of the colors in and stuff. But I think I really like using the no texture. I think it says none for the texture. And it just makes stuff a little bit cleaner, a little bit softer. And it really helped when I was doing the textures of like the rocky surface, because it was easy for me to just, you know, dot a little bit of the surface to make it look like a little bumpy. Looks like there's like either some cultures or something living on it. Just, I found it really fun to do. Hope you guys don't mind that today's speed paint is a digital speed paint, and I actually been sick for a little bit. I'm coming back from being sick. My throat's still a little bit weird, and I probably sound a little bit congested, but I'm hopefully not letting that slip through the voiceover. But yeah, I had a lot of fun just refining everything. I think the pants was another area that I had a lot of fun with, even though the shirt had a little bit less effort, especially like under his arm. Like that area of the shirt had less effort. I just put a few strokes in and it was done. The pants I did fiddle with a little bit because it had a weird shadow. And then, yeah, there's a lot of things I could talk about with digital painting, but I don't think I'm gonna get into. Hopefully in the future, when I get a little bit more confidence, or even like if there's a future painting I would like to do of Shua or Josh, one day, and maybe I'll try to film it start to finish. It is gonna be a chibi one. I have the concept in my brain, but I think I need to sketch it out to see if I can think of the proper pose and stuff. I have an idea. But yeah, I need to go work on Woozy's birthday illustration soon because his birthday's coming up really quick. So as you can see, I'm just putting the last few details. I'm probably gonna end the voiceover now. And I'll talk to you guys on Saturday with another video as promised. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!